We are exploring. Today we're at the McCraw Cemetery in Jacksonville, Arkansas. This cemetery is situated on land that was first settled in the mid-1830s by Pleasant McCraw and his wife. It is uncertain who exactly his wife was. The marker says her name was Elizabeth. The nomination document for the National Register of Historic Places names Rebecca as his widow. I couldn't find the gravestone for Rebecca McCraw, but I could find the grave of Pleasant McCraw and some of his children. You see some rocks here standing up. In the previous years there were some efforts to clean up this cemetery, and where indentations in the ground are, they put rocks to mark them. Here we come to the graves of, this is the first grave of the cemetery, Elizabeth Sander or Elizabeth Sanders. This is, I believe, a daughter of Pleasant McCraw. And the next gravestone here with a tree of life at the top is the gravestone of Pleasant McCraw, one of the pioneer settlers here in northern Pulaski County, Arkansas, in Jacksonville. Here are some rocks that you can see. This cemetery is pretty difficult to find. There's a little dirt road off of the military road, and this is right next to the Military Road Baptist Church. Here is a group of more graves of the Wood family. Here, this first one is interesting. Eliza Wood, Eliza D. Wood, Arkansas infantry in the Spanish-American War. That was a long time ago. Here lie his parents. And this, by the way, is the largest grave marker in the McCraw Cemetery. Father and mother. Wow. And there's a tiny grave there in the back. That was a little boy who died at the age of 9 years old. David Wood. Died in 1913. Wow. I like these old cemeteries. Here I'll give you an overview so you get an idea. Over there is my car. That's where the marker is we saw in the beginning. Let's walk over to these graves over here. This is the Trimble family. The land originally owned by the McCraw family changed hands a couple of times, and around the late 1800s the property was sold to the Trimble family, who is buried here. This is very interesting. The cemetery is not very large. It's about 3/4 of an acre, if I remember that correctly from the nomination form for the National Register of Historic Places. Here I'll give you an idea. We're walking back towards where the marker is, the historical marker. In this cemetery there are about 35 marked graves and about the same number of unmarked graves, which are only identified by indentations in the ground, and you can just estimate. So there is about 60 to 70 people buried here. At the far end, that I'm going to show you in a minute, that's an area where black people were buried. That's not unusual in the South, and at those times in the old days that black and white were separated not only in life but also in death. This obelisk here is a memorial for the grandsons of the original settler, Pleasant McCraw. What a nice first name. I bet he was a good guy with such a name. There are the 4 graves that are standing up where the McCraw family is buried. Those and the row in the front. This is the black area of the cemetery, pretty close to the marker. And I'm gonna give you one final overview of the McCraw Pioneer Cemetery. Look at that huge magnolia tree there, 200 years old, very likely planted when the cemetery was established. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it.